In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, and we are here at a different time. People are wondering, 2 o'clock? Are they 5.5 hour earlies today? Because they're usually about 4 or 5 minutes late. As I think it was FU reminded us earlier. He said, great, I'll see you at 2:04.
Hey, we made sure to be extra early today. We fast forwarded to 2 o'clock. Nowhere to be late.
Fast forwarded it. Exactly. We are 5.5 hours ahead of time. So, Crypto fam, we are working on this in the background. We do want to hear from you. Jokingly told Billy we pulled our houses, which the reality is we kind of have. It does work better for our families. And so we are trying to make a move. We're trying to feel out exactly what time. We haven't decided for sure that 2 o'clock is set in stone. So don't, put that on your calendar, but we are working through trying to figure out what that looks like. And I know it's going to take a little bit of time to warm up, and probably won't be as many people in here today and all of the things that, happen with us changing times, but that is what it is. So let's have some fun today. Let's check it out. Let's dive right into it. Make sure you're following Danger Close Alpha. Make sure you are involved in all the things we have going on. I think we're at, what are we at? Like 1,200 on the Mint, Crusader?
Somewhere around there. We're like 1,100 something, I think. I don't remember the number exactly.
We're going to continue to do some fun giveaways. We bought a few of Ben Armstrong, BitBoy Crypto's books. I'm excited to give those away. I think a lot of people need to learn more about the crypto space. A lot of people come in and don't have a true understanding. And I think that the book is a very simplified version, kind of breaks down crypto, introduction, especially for people that are newer to the space. So we're going to be doing some of those giveaways as well. So stick with us. We're going to work on making the changes, and it'll be a good thing, guys. I promise you. We won't leave you hanging. Let's check out the markets. Let's see what's going on over here. I think all of you know what's going on over here. We're up a little bit. We're at 811.45 billion with a B dollars. That's up 1.47%. Bitcoin's at 16,844. Leading the charge is actually ETH right now, up 2.41%. at $1,219. BNB, everybody's all freaked out about BNB, and Binance up 1.72%, just like everything else. And XRP fam, put them up 2.56%. The rest of the top 10 up a few percent. Polygon and Cardano up over 3%, so that's good to see. So Crusader, I have I need to see some TA from you. You have some Lux Algo love for us over on the TA front?
Yeah, dude, let me bring that up. So let me pull this up real quick, and here we go.
So this part of the TA is brought to you by Lux Algo.
Yeah, 100%. So as you can see here on the 4 hour, we converted right from a strong buy. Look at the run up that we had yesterday, from all the way from 16,800, wicked all the way above 1833. That was a couple of days ago on the 22nd.
I was about to say that wasn't yesterday. That was like a week ago.
Yeah, that was like a week ago on the 12th. Sorry, I saw the 22nd next to December. They put the 12 on the other side.
Got excited.
So yeah, no, I wasn't paying attention to that. But point is, right, we saw went from sell to strong buy. We worked all the way up to 18. We've since then have come back down. We quickly got a sell signal here. You see this trend catcher line converting from green to red. It's a second signal telling you that the sell is coming in. And then you see this neon cloud, right? This like little blue cloud here. When it's blue, it's bullish, and when it's red, it's bearish, right? So you get this here, you get this trend line going red, and then you get this cloud over here going red as well, just showing you 3 indicators showing you that we are going into sell pressure. So even though we're going sideways, it is very, very likely that we're going to keep going down or sideways here on the 4 hour. And on the daily, you guys already know, right? Where there's nothing here for a buy signal. Look how far back we go on the daily, and nothing but red, right? The middle cloud, right? This neon EQ cloud, I think is what they call it, has been nothing but red. Had a short period of blue here, which was a false signal, because you can see here that this little rally here didn't last. Quickly dumped. As you can tell, all the other signals were still flashing red. So you got to accumulate these different signals together to make a good decision. You just don't go based off one indicator, right? It's all in Lux Algo, but Lux has many things showing you at the same time what is happening. So even though we had a little buy signal here on the daily a few days ago, like you said, like I showed you, right? Strong sell, but seller wasn't going to be able to hold, and that's what we're going to be seeing. downward pressure. And if you saw yesterday's episode, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
It is not looking great for the market overall. I actually heard CryptoFace this morning. He's looking for a massive dump in the stock market. I just saw Billy saying, let me pull this up. Billy just said she's going to 13K, and I think the little dash is 13K, maybe sub 13K. I've been hearing that a lot. You know, we've seen in the past where when you have enough people talking about some really low numbers, a lot of times it doesn't happen. I guess we're going to find out because we have that exact scenario happening right now. A lot of people big in the space that know these markets talking about it going lower. And then you have Ben on the other side. I talked to him a lot about it down in the Bahamas, thinks that we are near a bottom and that we are bottoming out. So I guess.
Yeah, dude, I do believe we're near the bottom, right? I do think that the 10K level has become this mystical, like 100K level where everybody thinks we have to hit it. Can we? It's potential, right? That we could see it. But the only way we go to 10K or lower is something huge has to happen in the macroeconomic situation in the world for us to see that. Because look what happened, and Gareth Soloway was pointing this out, right? When you look at the charts, when Terra Luna dropped, we had a nice drop, right? Then a few months fast forward, FTX, right, happens. We have a drop again, but it's a much smaller drop, and FTX was a lot bigger than Luna collapsing. And yet we had a smaller drop. So nothing much more in the crypto space can happen that can push us a lot lower here that can be bigger than FTX. So that being said, like something huge in the macroeconomic situation has to happen to really push us down there and possibly break below 10.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Make sure to smash the likes, guys. Again, this change in time is going to be a little bit different today. We'll work on it, and we'll firm up exactly what's going to be happening as we move forward. But towards the new year, just plan on a change in the timestamp on Debate Crypto. We love you guys. We don't want to change up your schedule too much, but at the end of the day, we've just got some things going on in the background that kind of need our attention, aka family life. So that is ultimately, I think all of you would agree. You know, we're talking about preparedness. Who are you preparing for? Are you just preparing for nobody? No, you're preparing for yourself. You're preparing for your family. Family time's important. So that's what we're pushing towards. Let's kick into it. We've got Brazil, where your boy is going to be in, if I hadn't told you guys this, in about 5 weeks and 4 days, but who's counting? I'm going to be down there for a couple of weeks with a buddy of mine. Going to go down there and enjoy a couple of weeks vacation. But let's talk about what they are doing.
Didn't you just come from a vacation? The Vacation Keeper is your new name. I mean, this guy is at home for 24 hours, and he's like, I'm going on a vacation. Been at home too long.
Actually, I'm going to Florida in a couple of days. But
there you go.
That's family. That's for Christmas. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Of course.
Let's talk about it. The Brazilian president signs bill regulating use of Bitcoin as payment. I want to point out two parts of this that I think are really important. So at the start, it says the Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, on Thursday morning signed into a bill of law that establishes a complete regulatory framework for the trading and use of Bitcoin in the country. He enacted a bill approved by Congress without modifications. As previously reported, the new rule will recognize Bitcoin as a digital representation of value that can be used as a means of payment and as an investment asset in South American nation. It will be negotiated or transferred electronically and used for payments or as an investment as you read the text. You go down further into this bill, Crusader, and I'm not sure if we didn't talk about this before the show, but ultimately the discussion that happens further into this article is that the actual if this actually presses forward and makes a big move is going to depend on the regulatory framework. That sounds familiar. We have a lot of regulatory framework that we're waiting for here in the States. And what was suggested in the article is that depending on who in their world in Brazil takes over and has the oversight. Like, so for here, they're basically comparing their SEC and their CFTC to ours and saying that if their SEC gets a hold of this, there's not a chance in heck that they're going to allow Bitcoin to actually make a move towards being an actual, accepted currency in their nation. If the CFTC does, however, they believe it has more of or more of an option to be able to do that. Aren't we seeing the same thing happening in the States?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to figure out what the hell they're going to happen. It's not going to happen in the States, right? Are we going with the FTC? Are we going with the SEC? Are we going with some other 3-letter, 4-digit, who knows, agency? Who's going to regulate this thing? Who's going to, actually take care of it and, you know, protect the investors. So, you know, this whole FTX thing, another 3-letter agency, right? It's like they're all playing cahoots. They are trying to figure this out, and that's what the whole FTX thing is about: regulation, and regulation is coming from it. Who's going to regulate it? I don't know if it's going to be Biden, if it's going to be Trump, if it's going to be Pelosi, if it's going to be AOC. I don't know who's going to regulate this thing. But somebody's going to do it under the protection of investors. Gareth likes to talk about how that would be once again a strong indicator to push people to buy and be bullish on crypto once more regulation comes in. And, you know, when he talks about that, he talks about like traders, right? The institutional players, not the dollar cost averaging people, not the average folk like you and me. So that's what they're looking for, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna get a regulation. But man, I'm worried about regulation and what that really means.
Yeah, the FTX stuff going on is obviously the biggest news in the space. As many of you have heard, we're going to talk about FTX here in just a second, but let's start with SBF, the precipice of FTX, the leader of the free FTX world, or not so free FTX world. He is free right now. He is out on bail. For those of you that didn't see the TikTok that I put out yesterday, bail is 10% of bond. So the bond that got put out was $250 million, which to my understanding is one of the largest bonds that has been put on somebody in a long time. So they said that he wasn't a flight risk. They took his passport. Okay. They also, but the thing that gets me, and this is what I kind of want to talk about.
You're safe. Fine. They took the passport. No such thing as fake passport.
They took his passport. Okay. They believe that he's not going to be a flight risk. I actually do agree with that. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take a plane. He can just take a boat.
He's too recognizable, dude. He's not going to be able to just disappear.
Bruh, do you not watch movies? Like actors that are very recognizable become
If anything, he could die mysteriously. He could do that.
In a boating accident, as he's trying to escape.
Accident. Yeah, with his freaking hardware wallets that somebody else magically ends up having the keys for, and they move, later on down the road. But ultimately, the thing that got me was, okay, fine. You're going to let him out. You don't think he's a flight risk. Okay. The parents put up their house. A lot of people were asking, they were saying, wait a minute, where did this money come from? Okay. Well, let me tell you, first of all,
FTX.
$4 million of it came from the collateral of his parents' home. You don't have to just come up with $25 million cash. Bail, like I said, is 10% of bond. So they would have needed $25 million. So effectively, there's a couple people that donated anonymously to him. And I just wonder who's doing it. I don't know. But he is out. He's allowed to trade CryptoKeeper. He literally is out for being the biggest schemer and scammer in crypto and maybe even our financial history. And he is not barred from trading crypto. Why?
Well, I mean, can they really stop him? Can they? Right? He's got the people. He's got the connections.
But it's not even in the paperwork.
Oh, for sure. Dude, it's all fugazi, right? I mean, look at Biden and everything that's happening with FTX and Ukraine and all the money flowing everywhere. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, right? He got out of the Bahamas.
Sam Bankman-Fried. He's been freed.
Yeah, he's been freed, bro. I mean, he got out of the Bahamas, came over here less than 24 hours, out and about once again, eating all his vegan meals without missing a beat, right? And it's like, okay, cool, because we're just not going to pretend like what this guy just did and how all of you guys are tied up with him. But let's not pretend.
Yeah. So ultimately, there's a lot going on in the background, and this next article has to do exactly with that. They're arguing over money, right? This comes down to money. He's used customer funds to do everything else. So why not argue about customer funds here? Let's talk about it. FTX urges bankruptcy court to freeze $450 million in Robinhood shares owed to creditors. Given the list of creditors claiming the Robinhood shares, FTX asked the court to wait for a fair solution to be determined. I'm not even going to read this article. I read the article, but ultimately there is a line of creditors, and this is where this just blows my mind, bro. So FTX had effectively used their Robinhood shares as collateral with multiple different companies. They said, hey, well, you go ahead and give us this money, and we've got our Robinhood shares as collateral. Then boom, they did it with BlockFi. Then boom, they did it with somebody else. And now they're saying, well, wait a minute, there's $450 million sitting there that's my money. And you've got multiple different companies coming in and saying, no, that's my money. That's my money. So what they're trying to do right now is freeze the money. But here's the kicker. They want to freeze the money, and they openly said this because they know that they're going to have an insurmountable amount of legal fees owed, and they need a way to be able to pay them. So it sounds to me like they've also promised an attorney that, hey, we've got $450 million worth of Robinhood shares sitting there that they've promised to everybody else on planet freaking Earth. Dude, this gets wild. Real quick, Matt C., thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you recently. I love you for coming in. Thank you. So just wanted to wish you and your families a Merry Christmas. Thank you for all you've done in the community this past year. Let's have a rock in 2023. Matt, we love you, brother. I hope to meet you again soon. We need to link back up next time we are in the same town. Thank you, Matt. But yeah, so Crusader, so they're promising this money out everywhere. Why are they going to allow them to continue to further the same scheme that they were doing before?
Because it works. It works. It works. They can get away with it. They know exactly what they're doing, and everybody's just like, okay. The average person is never going to know that this money is promised everywhere, and we're just going to pretend like this isn't actually happening. Let's just push it under the rug, and it keeps working. The same schemes, the same people connected to the same leaders continue to do the same thing, and all they want you to focus on is what you call it, Zelensky, whatever, the Ukraine puppet, coming to the White House, and Biden, caressing his butt or whatever. That's the content that's been flowing around on Twitter. It's like, that's what they want you focused on. They don't want you focused on how they're literally stealing money in front of your face, and they're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's a sad day in the crypto space, because I think it's just a bad look as a whole. All of this happening and all of the turmoil surrounding crypto, to the people that aren't learned in the crypto space, all they know is, ooh, big scary crypto. And I want to remind you again, this is the narrative that needs to be continued to be talked about. It is not crypto. There are bad people that have guns that kill people. That doesn't make it guns that are the problem. And so many times the argument is in the wrong place, and they put blame on the wrong thing. So just continue to remember, this is a bad person in the space that caused this problem.
All the centralized exchanges do.
Oh, yeah.
All the centralized exchanges.
No doubt. It's greed. Let me take a quick break. Brought to you by Danger Close Alpha. You already know, DCA fam, if you guys are looking for your commodities, we've got about 1,300 of them left, something about to that number. And bullets, beans, and bourbon, those are on dangerclosealpha.com. Make sure you get over there. Somebody's going to win 5 Ethereum once we get this game rocking and rolling. So we're going to talk about our little prepper tip of the day. I'm not going to name all 26 of these, but today, 26 things that preppers forget to pack in their bug out bag. And actually, if we roll through them quickly, we can hit all of them. Medications, legal documents and IDs, photos of family members, cash, which may not be needed for too much longer. We'll see. Extra batteries or solar charger, toilet paper. Well, nobody would have forgot that during the whole, incident that we had a couple years ago. Diapers, insect repellent, two-way radio, zip ties. These are the things right here, Crusader, that I think people would forget, right? Simple things that are very, very, very important, right? Zip ties.
I don't need zip ties.
Oh, yeah? Why not?
I don't take prisoners.
Yeah, that's what it's for. It's definitely to take prisoners. Spare glasses or contacts. Spare socks. See, I feel like people would remember, like, socks, right? A whistle.
Actually, people would forget socks. I think most people think I just have 1 or 2 pairs. Dude, your feet get wet in any kind of way, your feet go bad, you're done. You are a casualty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Baking soda in case you're wrist whipping in the kitchen. Never mind, forget it. That was a bad joke. 15, condiments and bouillon cubes. Oral rehydration salts, water filter or purification. This is huge right here. Water filter or purification tablets. It's one of the number one things you need, obviously, to stay alive. I can't believe somebody would forget that, but hey, you need it. Pepper spray, gloves, mask. Well, no, we don't do that around.
Well, unless it's like nuclear. You might need some type
then we
of
need a
mask.
gas mask.
Not that type of mask.
That's right. Not that type of mask. Plastic bags, sewing kit, actual maps. This is an interesting one because I'll bet you on this stream right now. How many people are in here? Hold on. There's 15 people in here right now. I will bet you, of the people that are in here on the stream, half a dozen of you have maybe actually looked at a real map. Drop in the chat. Drop a 1 if you've actually read and used a real map Don't be lying to me now. Drop a 2 if you've never read a real map. Knife sharpeners, books, and aluminum foil. So we want to get back to the reason that we're doing this. We want to get back to the reason that we got the Danger Close Alpha started in the first place. We want to help you guys prepare, learn, move forward. We've been having all these things, moving parts in the background with our partners and partnerships that are happening and branding and all of these things. And we realized, holy mackerel, we literally haven't been doing even our prepper tip of the day. So we want to bring that back to the forefront and let you guys know we love you, want to help out. And if there's any questions that you guys have, obviously pull that up in the Discord. So that was brought to you by DCA. Jump into the fam, get involved, get in where you fit in. This one's for you, Crusader. You didn't even know that I was going to pull this one, but I want your thoughts on this one. I'm not going to speak much on this one. This one's you. Cuban NFT artists blocked from OpenSea to comply with sanctions. So it says 30 Cuban artists and collectors have been reportedly censored on OpenSea to comply with U.S. sanctions. So it goes further into this article and talks about how there has been a trade embargo effectively for a long. There's been sanctions between Cuba and the United States for a long time. Can you give us a little bit of background on that and why digital assets might fall under that as well? Like what that looks like?
Well, all I got to say is bravo. All the good ones are already here. F
all the
those
good what?
commies. All the good ones are already here.
All the good Cubans
are already in America. Everything else is trash back there. F those
Isn't your grandma? Hold on. Isn't your grandma still in Cuba?
She's a commie. She's like one of the biggest commies I've ever met.
Really?
Yes.
We've never had that conversation.
Dude, yes. Yeah. Oh, dude, like my dad's side of the family, he is literally like blackballed. He is the black sheep of the family. He's the only non-commie from his side of the family.
Wow,
yes.
The way that we speak on this channel to each other, whatever, I would have never guessed that anywhere in your bloodline was any communism.
So quick story, and then we'll get back to the article. But basically, my grandpa from my mom's side, very anti-commie, went to jail for smuggling, creating, moonshine, all kinds of stuff, right? All illegal stuff you could do in Cuba. My grandpa was doing it on my mom's side. So my mom's side was very anti-commie. They hated my mom because of that. They hated my mom because of that. When my dad got with it, because my dad was also very anti-communist, so they had a very rough relationship with my dad for many, many years. Point is, Cubans getting blackballed from OpenSea, whatever. The reason why it still happens is, right, you're not supposed to be making any type of business with a sanctioned country like Cuba, right? That's part of the embargo situation, and you're not, that money at the end of the day. Yes, right now on OpenSea, MetaMask, NFTs, all that stuff, that money is not going to go to the government. But nonetheless, the reason why I believe it should stay and it is actually good is two things. One, it shows the corruption of centralized entities like OpenSea, right? They can control these things. This wouldn't even be an article if we had a decentralized NFT platform that no company was running. Ain't no embargo going to be placed there, right? For sanctions. But on top of that as well is just a simple fact that I understand people feel bad for the Cuban people and what's going on over there, right? As a human, I see it. It sucks. I've been there many times in my life. It sucks living there. But I believe that you should not use your empathy to sympathize with them and give them relief in ways of money or whatever. I feel that you should keep the pressure on so that the people do not get lazy and start relying on this relief that they're getting from outside sources, and then they never actually rebel against the country. The only way they're going to rebel and knock Fidel and his regime down is by feeling the pressure and saying, hey, our back's up against the wall. There's nothing else to lose. And when there's nothing else to lose, people step up. And that's why I believe that way. I think that way.
It's really interesting. There's I guess I'd never put together the fact that they would use digital assets, digital art, like the whole deal, and really draw a firm line in the sand with everything. And I saw this and I was like, well, I got to ask Crusader about this one. So moving on, for the reason y'all came. Now, if you've been around crypto for a year or less, what have you seen? Which direction have we been moving, Crusader, in the crypto space?
Kamikaze straight down.
We have not been doing well, but so this is an interesting, a little interesting chart that I'm about to show you. But let's talk about the 5 best losers, because they've all been losers in the crypto space for 20. That's what I should have titled it. I should have titled the 5 best losers in the crypto space, because there haven't been no winners as far as an actual project or really much of anything in the crypto space, unless you've just been really good at trading for 2022. Let's take a look at this. Let's talk about the best performing assets. So the top 5 best performing assets by returns or lack thereof in 2022. So check this out. I'm just gonna touch on them. So Tron, number 1. This is the best returning asset in the crypto space for 2022. What's the total? Negative 29%. Number 2, XMR. Isn't that Monero? I think it's Monero.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Monero, minus 37%. There's a huge difference between Tron, Monero, and then third place, BNB. BNB being third, down 51%. Ethereum Classic, down 53%. And rounding out that top 5, Dogecoin, down 54%.
Look,
So
I'll give you the differences. Tron, trash project. XMR, the illusion of freedom. BNB, centralized entity monopoly. What was the next one after BNB?
Ethereum Classic.
Ethereum Classic, dead project, a walking zombie.
And Dogecoin.
And then Dogecoin, the biggest scam, the next big scam.
I just thought at the end of the day, like, it was comical, because when I saw the headline, I was like, wait a minute, top 5 performing assets. I'm like, have there been any assets in 2022 that have been a winning proposition? No, maybe some rug pulls for people that are scammers. They've been, FTX until he got, SBF until he got locked up. Maybe he had a winning proposition going on.
Yeah, it's wild to think that those are the projects that are top performing. But I think they're top performing is because a lot of people weren't holding them in the first place, so they didn't drop as heavy as all the rest of the projects that people were actually holding. It's just wild that those are, except for BNB, a lot of people were probably holding that.
And I actually have somewhere I actually want to go somewhere with this, though. So this is a tale that shows that patience wins in the crypto space. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, as I look at my portfolio, as Crusader looks at his portfolio, and I only say this just to show you guys to not be scared, have faith, long-term and solid projects. The majority of my assets are Ethereum. That's my biggest hold, far and away. I've got a nice chunk of XRP. You guys know that. Bitcoin. Okay, cool. But those are the 3. Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum are my top 3 holds, far and away. Okay. Those are 3 solid projects. Crusader is about to chime in on this, but it's at least 2, depending on who you're asking here, right? And what I'm getting at is that I'm not down. Not even kind of. I'm actually still, like, probably up 300 or 400% from my original entry into the space. So all I'm getting at is, if you can pick out projects that you believe in long term, be patient. It's okay. Listen, if you want to trade, learn how to trade. Be smart with your with the amount of money that you are trading with versus the total amount of your portfolio. Good risk management. I think that's really important. Have a game plan with your NFTs. I was talking to somebody yesterday and they were talking about, well, I bought a bunch of NFTs and then she said, that's better than, probably buying crypto right now. And I said, maybe. But as I thought about it, even though the NFT market is incredibly illiquid right now, long term, what are you buying? Are you getting into something like Danger Close Alpha, where you're pulling value just from the project itself and what it's doing for you, any events that it's going to provide, and opportunities that it's going to provide? Or are you just buying, a piece of art that you ultimately really like? Either way, those have value to you. But long term, I think Crusader would agree, patience has won for us, and shy of the whole crypto market's going to damn near zero, we're not going to lose. And with the markets being down as much as they are now, we're not here to give financial advice, but I believe that long term, you guys will be in the exact same position. It'll just be a few years from now. you know?
Exactly, right. And that's the kind of way the whole cycle works is you get in now, and for you, these prices seem extremely high because we got in at extremely lower levels comparing. But in a few years, you're gonna be like, oh, I got in at 1200 on ETH. The new people coming in and be like, damn, I wish I could have bought it. I'm buying a 5K, right? 5K is the new low for ETH, right? Meanwhile, and that's just an example, but meanwhile, you are having the long mindset of these assets that I'm investing into, I believe are going to be top contenders in the next 5 to 6 years, are still going to be around, then you should be okay, right? And that's the kind of way you can last in this space. The people that got in 2017, right, when we were buying at $200, $300 Ethereum, people were like, that's extremely high. I was buying ETH at $15, right? And it's like, well,
Yeah.
and now 300 is a new low. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever it is, it's going to eventually become the future low of ETH or whatever it is. And that's just the way you got to, think about it when you're investing long term. So it's obviously not financial advice. It's just the way I see it. And that's how I make my decisions.
Yeah. Patience wins out. Unforgettable name wants to know if this is Tang. This actually is some cheap, the little like water flavoring that you just like squirt into your water. I forget what it's even called. It's called Mio or something like that.
It's called trash.
That's, hey, listen, it gives me a little flavor. It continues to have me drinking water. So drinking
God
water.
forbid that you just spit in the face of God and say the water that you made, which is not good
water.
enough. It's like, you got to give it some flavor, Jesus. Come
on,
man.
Man, I gotta have something more than just straight water. Good gracious, I gotta put something in it. But yeah, Crypto Fam. So thank you for being here. Listen, again, the time change. We have not set it in stone, but the time change is happening. We would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Sean throwing out a super chat right down here at the end. Thank you, Sean, for the love. Says, just want to say Merry Christmas to Keeper Crusader and all the cool DCA warriors. Happy holidays, everyone. Sean, happy holidays to you. Thank you very much for that. Billy throwing in a super chat here as well says, when Vest going in merch store? Billy, we are
working
going
on
to
it.
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're trying to figure it out. It's it's not going to be a cheap item because they're just not cheap, and these are custom patches, right? Especially if you wanted to put your name on the back too. It's a whole custom deal. Trust me, you don't want to know what we spent for the vests and the patches to go down to the event, but hey, it's turned into something bigger and better. So we are going to put it out there for you guys. We'll let you know as that happens. But yeah, so the time frame, guys, we're working on it. Super excited about what the new year is going to bring. Tomorrow, we're not going to be streaming, right? Tomorrow, Crusader?
No, tomorrow we're going to be taking the day off. We're preparing to go to war with every other YouTube channel right now that streams anywhere around this time. So I'm letting you guys know DCA is coming for all of you guys.
We were ready to go to war with anyone in the 2 p.m. Eastern time frame or thereabouts. So ultimately, Merry Christmas to everybody here. We tell you all the time, but we really do mean it. We love you guys. We appreciate you for being here as the channel continues to press forward and grow. We just want you to know that we really appreciate you. All of you that are here right now are probably the start of what was our foundation. We will not forget you. Make sure that you guys are involved in the DCA project in some sort of way. Somebody's going to win 5 Ethereum when this game pops off. So there are some commodities left. We've still got clues that are out there. There's still a lot going on in there. I don't want people to get discouraged.
A lot of clues, a lot of stuff. And at the end of the day, when the game does, the whole purpose of the game is somebody's going to win 5 Ethereum. So if you're trying to build up a portfolio, here you go.
Yeah, so we're actively working on branching out, bringing some new people into the project. I don't want people to get frustrated. I promise you, the game will happen, the next drop will happen, but we need some time. We need time to grow as a community. We want to provide more value to each and every one of you. We're working on a lot of different things in the background, so hopefully you guys can bear with us. We will continue to bring the heat. So we love you guys. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you and your families. Just remember to question everything.
I'm watching the list of everybody that's on here, and who was it on here today? You guys are on the shit list. Question everything, trust nothing. That's right. Making the list.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon. Merry Christmas.